Hi, Tony Arroyo for BMT, and we're downtown right now at the Jacob Javits 2011 Comicon, which you can see right across the street here from the big Marvel sign. We're going to go inside in a little while and meet some very talented people. The Marvel and DC, that's fine, but we've been told by a little bird on the wall that there's some very, very talented, independent artists and writers here. We're going to get these people on camera, let them tell you a little bit about themselves, and I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. Why don't you come on inside and join us? I think you'll have a lot of fun. Tag along. We're down here at the Darkness booth with Seth. Actually, this is Darkness 2. So tell us the difference between Darkness 2 and Darkness 1 for those who don't know about the game.
Well, the Darkness 2 is set 2 years after the events of the Darkness 1. Jackie Estacado still has, he still has the powers of the darkness, and he's now the mob boss, and he's ready to go from, like, in the beginning of the first game, he just started as a grunt, and he ended up in the end with crazy powers of the darkness and is like the leader of the mafia. In this game, he starts with the crazy powers of the darkness and is the leader of the mafia, and grows up to become, even more powerful.
So he's an opportunistic demigod.
Yep. He is a powerful, powerful man.
How long does it generally take, just like a ballpark figure, to put a game like this together, from the voiceover to the graphics? I think a lot of people will be interested in it.
I think that games tend to take, you can make a game in a year and a half. It's not going to be a very good game. In general, you're looking at minimum 2.5 years, I think, from where you come up with an idea for what the game needs to be to the time it's on the shelves.
Now, as an adjunct to this, there was Top Cow and Image. Are you still on the comic book side of things, or just on the gaming side of things as well?
No, we're entirely on the gaming side. This is all. I'm here with 2K Games, and 2K Games is all about the games. I mean, we work with the Top Cow guys, but like, they know comic books, and it's absolutely their world to own, and we know games, and that's kind of all we know. We're going to make the games. So we work together on the conceptual level. Like, I'm working with Mark Silvestri a lot. I've talked to him, I've talked to Matt, and I've talked to Philip at Top Cow. In the early setup stages where you're talking about narrative and stuff like that. But after you start making a game, it's an entirely different discipline than the discipline that makes comics.
This all of it started out with Odyssey and Atari. If you go back as far as I do playing video games, where's the top side to it? How far do you think games can go before they start to repeat themselves? Maybe that's not a fair question, but...
Well, I mean, how far did film go before it started to repeat itself, How far did painting go before it started to repeat itself? It's just, you have to learn from what you've done previously in order to know what the next interesting thing is that you can do in the future. So you have to look back at everything that's been made. You have to look back at Atari. You have to look back at, like, TurboGrafx. You have to look back at early systems and kind of see what they did in order to learn those lessons to know how to make the next thing excellent. So, it's going to continue to grow and it's going to continue to change. But and there will be some repetition, but there will always be repetition with a new spin on it, just like there's repetition in fashion. How are we going to continue to change and grow clothes in the future? I don't know, but we're going to continue to do it. Same way with games.
Will there be a number 3?
Right now we're here talking about number 2. Everybody should come down and play it. We have hands-on in the booth here, and it's really exciting to watch everybody pick up the controller and have full control over demon arms and be quad-wielding and running around like 2 guns, a slashing demon arm, a grabbing demon arm, really get it immediately, and everyone leaves the booth really in love with the game. It's great.
All right, thank you, sir. So get down here to the Darkness 2 booth and knock yourself out. Tony Arroyo, BMT. Thank you, sir. Okay, we're down here at the Dawn World booth, and this is Antoine, creator of Battle Masters, and this, you don't have to take my word for it. Look between us. This is beautiful. This is animation. This is what animation is supposed to be like. I'm going to let you take the ball and you run with it. Tell us how you got started, where you're trying to go with this idea, what inspired you. Just rock and roll with it.
Okay. All right, now, well, yeah, Battle Masters has basically been in the mix for a couple of years. We took a while before we actually came out with the issue 0 that we debuted here last year at the New York Comicon. And this year, 2011, we came out with the issue number 1. We came out with the Back in the Day. Basically what you see on the screen are bridges between each book. What we do is we try to take the animation and it tells you a story before you get to the next book. A couple of this stuff will probably be online towards the end of the year. We'll start releasing some of the webisodes here and there, just to get the fans kind of, you know, feeling about some of the stuff. It's basically urbane type stuff. It's urban characters, you know, but they're sophisticated. Once you read the book, you'll see how they speak, how they carry themselves, the knowledge that they have. They're wise characters, so that's what you call urbane. And that's basically the flow of all of the characters, whether it's the villains or the heroes. They all carry themselves within that manner. And the basic plot is life imitating art. That's their power. They call themselves the exclusives. Any art form that you could think about, supernaturally, it's able to manifest itself in this universe. So what you have here is the DJ, and he's manipulating time as a DJ would manipulate wax or a record when he's mixing. What you have is the wordsmiths, and their whole power is based around the power of word, the ability to say something and then it manifests right there in real time. The main character, which is the living rhymes, they try to explain to him how, you know, he has to express himself but suppress himself. That type of power you have to be very responsible with. You can't be reckless. You have to watch the words that you choose to use. And that's the backdrop and the message that we have for a lot of the readers, a lot of the younger readers as well. And, you know, it's fun to be able to show some of this stuff on the screen with the animation. It just really takes off.
We both know there's not nearly as much ground in the comic book and cartoon industry as there is everything else.
Right.
So did you basically come up with the concept based on that premise, that there needs to be more ground in comic books, and I, for one, think there needs to be? And is that where the genesis of this came from? Was it something out on the drawing board? Boom, I want to do this. It wasn't color coordinated. It wasn't color orientated.
Right.
It's something you just boom, I want to do this. This is what I want to say.
Right. Well, naturally, this story takes place in Old York, so it's an alternate reality of New York. And I find it hard to believe when I pick up a comic book and it's based in New York that you don't see them type of heroes, being that we have so much influence here on the city. And that doesn't properly, you know, it doesn't properly illustrate New York in any sense. So when I'm reading these other books, you know, it's kind of funny. Even, you know, just the fact that a lot of the frontline characters, they're not created to be frontline characters at all. The few characters that we do have, say like Black Panther, Black Lightning, you see that they have to be called black. None of our characters is called black this or black that. They're just a character. But, you know, you take them for what they are. You see them, they're brown skinned. And I think that opens the door for people to feel a little more comfortable, and it doesn't seem as forced, because I think DC just rebooted their whole universe. And you know, I try to support some of the books, and Mr. Terrific, you know, he tells you 10 times in the book that he's black. And it's, you know what?
He's the third smartest guy.
And he's the third, right, but he has to tell you that he's black 10 times in a comic book. So when we created these characters, they were created with the intent of being frontline characters. And that's how they carry themselves. So you'll get the opportunity to see frontline characters of color, yes.
Now, I got a little something. Me and you share a common bond here. We both had projects on Kickstarter. When I saw this on Kickstarter, I said, okay, this is one of those that's going to get it. It's going to get the funding. It's going to go through. It didn't. Now that hasn't turned you off from being creative at all.
Right.
Is that what are you going to take it back to Kickstarter? And if you are, is there anything that you're going to tweak or change business-wise to try to get other funding, or is there a different approach that you're going to use?
Well, yeah, the Kickstarter was a bit surprising. Some of the stuff that we have here that's been well received is some of the stuff we had on Kickstarter. So, you know, when we mentioned some of the things to the people here at the convention, you know, they seemed to be all for it. So maybe there was, maybe it was bad timing. I'm not too sure what the variables were. But we'll try again, attempt it again. Maybe we'll tweak some of the things, some of the giveaways that we was gonna give away as far as for anybody that would back us. But you know, we're just basically going full steam ahead, trying to do everything ourselves, self-publish. You know, we'll self-promote, we'll self-distribute, we'll do everything ourselves, and maybe people will catch on at some point.
98% of what's here at this convention right now is inspiration, because it's entrepreneurs like you, like myself, and a myriad of other people you can see here. And the internet has brought this about. This convention is not about the big name companies, what have you. It's the independents and the entrepreneurs and the kitchen sink guys, and it's on your kitchen sink, and you do it on desktop and you bring it here. And man, it looks like that, and that's beautiful. And I'm gonna be pulling for you my own Kickstarter project. I got to give that another shot too, because I didn't get mine, but we'll be there pitching.
Good luck to you.
Thanks a lot for your time, Antoine. Take one more look at this. You know, this is the future right here. This is beautiful. Pixar should be envious of this. This is really nice. Tony Arroyo, BMT. Well, we're going to say goodbye from the 2011 Jacob Javits Comicon, and we hope you had as much fun as we did meeting all these wonderfully talented people. And we hope we see you again next time. Tony Arroyo, BMT.